Hey, what's up, nerds? Paul here at Radio Free Hammer Hall. Today we're taking a look at Slaves to Darkness once again, and this time it is from the perspective of marking your units Slaanesh. So let's get to it. Our Aura of Chaos. Once again, we have each of our heroes that is marked Slaanesh will have a 12-inch aura of an ability, and then we also have an additional special ability for our general that is marked Slaanesh. So our aura for Slaanesh, if the unmodified hit roll for an attack is a 6, wholly within 12 inches of a hero, that attack scores 2 hits on the target instead of 1. Now this is really powerful, and this is a consistent feature that we see on Slaaneshi things in general. So we're sort of continuing that power that Slaanesh has. In addition, if you are within 12 inches of your general, you get to reroll, run, and charge rolls as well. So that is definitely very powerful. That gets your army moving much more quickly across the battlefield and adds some definite extra power to your melee attacks, particularly when you're throwing a large quantity of attacks. So something like Chaos Knights and your Chaos Marauders are just going to be throwing lots of extra attacks at your opponent. Up next, we'll look at the Pleasure-Bound Warband Battalion. So this one is only requiring 7 units, which is a pretty easy one to hit. If a model from this battalion is slain in the combat phase, units from the same battalion can move an extra 3 inches when they pile in until your next hero phase. So extra pile-in is not always super valuable, but it definitely can help get more units into combat, particularly when you have a large unit like, say, 40 Marauders. You can definitely get more attacks in, particularly if you were just making that charge. That being able to pile in 6 inches instead of 3 is really going to give you an advantage there. So this is... Already we're seeing this is slanting towards a more aggressive style of play here for Slaanesh, much like Khorne is, but doing it in some different ways. All right, so our Demon Prince, our command ability for our Demon Prince, you can use it in the combat phase until your next hero phase if models from a friendly Slaves to Darkness Slaanesh unit wholly within 12 inches of this model are slain by an attack made with a melee weapon by an enemy unit. Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by that friendly unit that target the enemy unit until your next hero phase. You cannot use this command ability more than once per turn. So this also pairs nicely with our previous ability from the Pleasure-Bound Warband, where you kind of want your guys to get in there and get killed first, and then you strike back harder. So this, again, synergizes really well with a large group of Marauders. I think Slaanesh is probably a great Slaanesh build. I think is running like the 120 Marauder build is probably really strong with a Slaanesh mark. You're getting lots of extra attacks or hit rolls rather from your Aura of Chaos, and you're getting bonuses to hit, bonuses to pile in, re-rolling charges, all kinds of good stuff that's really getting your guys to hustle in there. And then last, we have the Chaos War Shrine, and as always, we have our Protection of the Dark Gods, giving us a 6-up ward save within 18 inches. And then our favor of Slaanesh, you can reroll charge units for that unit until your next hero phase, which is kind of a bummer because that's already coming off of our general. So it's kind of a redundant ability. And in addition, that unit is immune to battle shock until your next hero phase. So it's potentially saving you command points on rerolling charges and failing battle shock tests. Slaanesh definitely has you wanting to, like, you need to get your guys killed to get buffs. So you're kind of going kamikaze a little bit, and there's not a lot of other battle shock protection in Slaves to Darkness, so this might actually be valuable to you. In general, though, I'm not sure how valuable that is, and there's a lot of occasions where you're just going to want to take Favor of Chaos and reroll hit and wound rolls for that unit, because you're not generating rerolls from anywhere else in Slaanesh for your hit and wound rolls. So that can really make those guys your... if you're taking large clouds of Marauders, this is going to make them even more deadly if you're going with reroll hit and wound rolls. The hit rerolls are going to give you a second bite at the apple for scoring 6s to hit. And you'll be able to get even more guys into combat with the Pleasure-Bound Warband that is going to help you pile in further. So I'm not 100% sure about using the Favor of Slaanesh prayer, but it is certainly something to consider. Being able to get Battle Shock immune without using a command point is definitely something that can be valuable. And getting +1 to hit off of your Demon Prince, also pretty valuable. And, extra pile in. So Slaanesh is definitely very much oriented towards like a glass cannon style of army. So you're going to definitely want to be using, again, Chaos Marauders, I think, are going to really be your friend here. Whereas Khorne is a little bit more of a hard-hitting hammer style. Slaanesh gets its bonuses mainly from their guys dying first. And Khorne is really more built around killing first. So it's a little bit of a different style of aggressive army, but, also definitely very aggressive, oriented towards throwing your guys at your opponent and slicing and dicing as much as possible. So anyway, I think that is about all I really have right now on Slaanesh. Definitely an aggressive army build. Does the traditional Slaanesh glass cannon job, and is, I think, a very good build choice if you're going with heavy Marauders. So with that said, I will see you all later.